News: lingering delays at the Sacramento International Airport this afternoon after an AT&T outage this morning. Sacramento County Sheriff's Office now says AT&T utility lines were deliberately cut about 2 miles away from the main terminal, leading to those outages at SMF. Delta and Southwest Airlines flights were affected, making it a very busy morning at the check-in counters as airline staff work to help travelers. Thanks for joining us at noon on this Thursday. I'm Lisa Gonzalez, and we continue to follow that breaking news for you. And we've got team coverage for you this afternoon. KCRA 3's Maricela de la Cruz is live from the airport with more on the impact being felt by travelers. KCRA 3's Melanie Wingo is live just a couple of miles away from the main terminal where the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office is investigating those cut AT&T lines. And let's start there. Melanie?
Well, the activity you're seeing behind me is directly related to the internet outage that happened at the terminal at the Sacramento International Airport. And you can see there are some crews out here on scene. The Sacramento County Sheriff's Office telling us that those lines were deliberately cut. Now, this morning we received a viewer call into our KCRA 3 newsroom alerting us to the fact that some sheriff's investigators, along with about a dozen AT&T trucks, were out at this location at Power Line Road and Bayou Way. We came out here and discovered the work underway to fix the lines, along with those investigators out here looking into exactly how the lines got cut and who did it. So what we want to do now is bring on Sergeant Amar Gandhi with the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office. Okay, so you know all of the travel effects that are taking place now because of the cut internet lines. How did you all hear about the lines being cut, and what happened from that point?
Sure. So it actually happened around 1:30 this morning. There was obviously a service disruption at the airport. We contract for security at the airport, so we work hand in hand with them. Once crews got out here, saw that the line was actually deliberately cut, initially triggered an investigation on our side. So we had units coming in here. We actually have the FBI involved as well, just to see if there's any broader implications, but just working through all that investigation right now.
So now federal investigators as well looking into this. What can you say about the nature of the cut here? Is this somebody who accidentally bumped into the power line?
No, I mean, it looks like someone who knew what they were doing. So this wasn't just a couple teenagers. It looks like, maybe ripping some wires out in a prank. Looks very deliberate. Looks, again, like they knew what they were doing. So we're working through that aspect.
And then how do you go about tracking down the people who did this, or the person responsible for doing this, and trying to uncover their motive for cutting the line?
Sure. You go to any airport in the country, any airport in the world, Sacramento being no exception, anywhere around here is going to be one of the most heavily surveilled areas anywhere around. So, again, lots of cameras here, lots of angles for us to investigate. So, again, we're working through all those.
And for the person out there who did this, what charges could they potentially be looking at? And are you pretty confident that you will track them down?
Yeah, I'll answer the last one first. Of course we will. Yeah, we'll find them. But at a base level, they're looking at least a felony vandalism. Now, beyond that, again, we do have our federal partners here to see what other broader implications might be involved in this. But again, a lot of that's going to come through with the why they did this and anything else that happened with it.
And it's part of the why going to be looking into potentially an instance of domestic terrorism, something even more serious than somebody, cutting a line just because they wanted to, do something nefarious.
And it definitely could be, and we're going to look what end of the spectrum it falls, right? Whether it is just a prank or, whatever that might be, to something as serious as you mentioned. So.
And then how much longer do you anticipate this work will be going on, and have your investigators pulled back, or will they continue to stay out here with these crews?
No, the investigation side at the scene is complete. They're obviously working on getting everything restored, which I do understand from the airport. Flights are going back and everything else is going as functioning. But yeah, we're still working. We don't necessarily need anything here, but yeah, you'll see investigators working.
All right. Thank you, Sergeant Amar Gandhi with Sacramento County Sheriff's Office. And just to give you a sense of where we are located, we are off of the highway, so we're bordering on Interstate 5, about 2 miles away, roughly, from Terminal B, where all of the ripple effect of this outage related to these deliberately cut lines is being felt. Reporting live in Sacramento County, Melanie Wingo, KCRA 3 News.
Yeah, Melanie, it truly is hard to believe why someone would do this. Maybe a disgruntled employee like you were alluding to, and maybe this was something even more serious. Thank you so much for the update. And we know, especially if there are cameras there, they're going to catch this person. Let's continue our team coverage now with KCRA 3's Maricela de la Cruz live at the airport. So Southwest has really seen the biggest impact. Are things getting better, Maricela?
Yeah, Lisa, well, things are getting better. I mean, you can still see the lines. They're still pretty long. These are all people waiting to check themselves in, check in their bags, and these kind of wrap around inside the building. They're all waiting to go into the check-in counters, but it is significantly shorter than what we saw 30 minutes ago. These lines were a lot longer. Now, Southwest Airlines did bring in additional staff. We were told by employees that the system was rebooted. That happened about an hour ago. So some kiosks are now working. People are now being able to check in. And in a statement to KCRA, Southwest Airlines told us that the network issues are not under their control, and they were using manual processes to request refunds. To take care of customers. They also emphasized that they were not having any cancellations, but did encourage any travelers to request refunds if they needed to. Now, we did speak to a few travelers today, earlier when the lines were a lot longer. Fortunately, the people that we spoke with did tell us that they were here earlier, a few hours earlier before their flight. Departed, so they were able to make it in. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
Yes, I've never seen anything like this before. I haven't checked a bag in probably 7 years, and we've always just walked right up and got a tag, and I've never seen anything like this. Someone said down there it's taking 2 hours. I'm worried that I'm not going to make my flight. So anyway, it's pretty awful.
We're glad the internet came back up. You know, we were just willing to. When they told us that the flight was at least delayed, I mean, they will still wait on us. You know, we feel okay. So just glad to be healthy enough to wait it out.
And other check-in counters were opened earlier throughout the airport. Now we see that it seems that it is all being taken care of at the Southwest Airlines check-in counter. Now, as far as the airport staff, they did tell us that they were all in the emergency operation room earlier today, and they didn't have an estimated time for restoration, but they were all trying to solve these issues and have people informed. Earlier today, we also did see a lot of staff from the airport out here guiding people on where to go, and it seems again that while long these lines right now, they have significantly decreased. We are live at the Sacramento International Airport. Marisela de la Cruz, KCRA 3 News.
So Marisela, at one point that you heard that they were as long as 2 hour long wait, but that's definitely a lot better now from what you can tell.
Yeah, definitely. When we arrived, the lines were actually even outside the airport. They were wrapping around the entire building in here. But as you can see, I mean, it has significantly decreased. There is still some line back here at the Southwest Airlines check-in counter, but again, it seems to be, from what I'm seeing right now, that the other check-in counters have already been closed. So it is moving quite fast at this point, Lisa.
All right. Yeah, that's definitely good to hear and good to see firsthand. Marisela, thank you so much. And